Tell me about Red Empire, the band. Where did the journey start?
Journey started about 5 years ago. We're all from completely different backgrounds, but we had a mutual friend in Joe Joel. He's been in the Irish music industry for about 30 years. And he just kind of, me and Gar had kind of hit a rut with the band that we were in back then, and the boys were looking for a singer, and it was just pure coincidence, one of those lovely things that happens, and we all just got in a room together with Joe, and that was it. It was lovely.
So, I mean, how many songs, album? I mean, are you just starting? I think you're about to release an album, or? Yeah,
we have the album recorded, but again, it touches on a lot of the stuff that the speakers before me were talking about. You know, the music industry itself is in a very strange place at the moment, and there's a whole question about format, and you know, what's the best way to release something. Within the industry at the moment, like the labels and how things are operating with bands and how bands are signed, the manner in which they're signed, it's all very kind of slightly precarious at the moment, and because of that, that's influencing a lot of decisions business-wise within the band. Like I said, we have an album there ready to go, but we released an EP in February, which did quite well for us considering the fact that there was no label behind it. You know, we hired a PR company to do it for us, to do the promotion. But we're going to release another EP now. It seems that people want music in nuggets now.
Yeah.
You know, they want short bursts and they want it quickly. And it's strange to try to adapt to that, you know. Like me myself, like I've listened to albums my whole life and I completely appreciate the format and I love it. You know, I love the idea of going into a body of songs and just, you know, letting it envelop you and, you know, lying back and taking it in. But that's still very much part of our ambition overall. But if this is the way we need to operate for now, you know, from a business sense, we need to adapt to it. So.
Have you got any ideas from the previous speakers?
Absolutely. I have to say it's a very enlightening evening, and I just want to thank Peter and the rest of the organisers for putting it on. Thanks, Peter. Give them a round of applause. It's genuinely been enlightening.
So you're going to probably chat to a few of the lads afterwards.
Yeah, I think so. We need to do this and we need to do this, yeah.
Yeah, because I was just actually thinking, we're looking for bands. Bands are trying to get noticed. Bands who want to get PR. Then you come and say, we're a band, we want to get PR.
Yeah.
So in terms of the journey up, I mean, because it's a bit like in the technology industry, right? You have a product, you go live, right?
Yeah.
And do you go out with a prototype, do you test amongst the audience? Your product is your album. Tell me the story to get up to your product.
Okay, the story would have been a lot of trial and error. It would have been a lot of putting together different pieces of work. Like, you have to understand that within a band, it's kind of not like the businesses that were spoken about previously, in that it's incredibly collaborative, but it's collaborative in a slightly different way, because like 5 individuals who probably listen to 5 different types of music and putting them together in a room, it's like just throwing a firework, throwing a banger in the middle of them, you know. But putting it all together, I suppose, takes time. Like, for instance, Gar has a master's in composition. You know, I went to Trinity. I studied psychology. Richie's very successful in business. Do you know what I mean? So it's, if you put those 3 people in a room together, to get them to agree to the same thing.
Is the room big enough for those 3 egos?
It's kind of like you have to kind of let them fight it out, and fighting it out kind of takes time. Do you know what I mean? So it did invariably take time, and you know, 5 years later, we've released 2 EPs, and prospectively looking to release the album. So like I said, it did take time. It's taken a while.
One of the stories, I can't remember which speaker was, he said, and we got there and we released the platform and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And are you prepared for that, and knowing that you can have to keep working after that?
Well, we've already done that. we've done that, you know, but it's more a case of, you just have to learn. Like, you know, you were talking about, you know, ending each interview with the lessons that you've learned, and I suppose adaptation is the big thing for us. Like, we're adapting and evolving all the time, and like all of the other people that have spoken before us, just have to learn quickly, you know. We had, in some ways, had a great guide when we started, because like I said, Joe had been in the business for 30 years, and we were kind of under his wing slightly. In some ways, that helped us immensely, but in some ways, it slightly hindered us because there was, in his day, it didn't work like it works now. I mean, it's completely different. So there was a lot of adapting on his part and on our part, which is only natural,
So, I mean, do you need to take action and see what happens, or do you still need to wait to hopefully guess what the right action is going to be?
No, the point that we're at right at this moment is we've learned a hell of a lot, musically and in a business sense. And the plan that we have for ourselves over the next year, I think, is going to be very successful. And I have all the confidence in the world in it, and the lads do too. It's kind of like these lessons that you learn over time. Especially about collaboration and teamwork and stuff. Outside of the band, we still have a team. Like, we have a videographer, a photographer, we have someone who does our covers, our EP covers, we have a roadie, like the manual stuff, the artistic stuff outside of the band is taken care of. But those people are personally and emotionally invested, which is what you need, really. Do you know what I mean? If
Absolutely, they believe in you.
They believe in us, I mean.
And we're still to get to that starting gate.
Yeah, well, it's just that thing that I'll give you the example of the videographer. Like, I sat down with him the other day and we're discussing our next music video. Like, and it's all about the idea. I know a previous speaker spoke about everybody has an idea, but like, if you have belief, if you have people around you who share your passion and belief, and they're willing to invest in that idea, then it really does take care of itself in more ways than one. Again, to just touch on the whole idea of the video coming up, like, if you speak to people who are genuinely interested in doing something that's artistically interesting, then their inclination more often than not is to go, I want some of that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I want a piece of that. So that's what happened with the actors and with the people, with the makeup artists, with the people who are coming in now on this video. That's what's happening. They're seeing the momentum and they want to jump on the train,
I mean, I'm actually, because as I said, this is the third one of these I've done, it's the third one Peter's done, and I hope none of the previous speakers from the previous two are around, but I just have to say the amount of energy and passion that's been amongst all you speakers is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, seriously, it's moving, and it just shows that if you believe enough, it can happen.
Yeah. Like, I just know amongst ourselves there is that absolute belief that, what we have is valuable, and what we have, we just need to deliver in the right way. Unfortunately for us, we're operating very much within the industry, and the industry is in a huge transition period at the moment, the music industry in Ireland.
I just want to stop you on that point. You said, unfortunately, we're working within the industry, and it's in a transition phase. Imagine you worded it differently, started, fortunately.
Yeah.
Start with the word fortunately. Tell me where the journey now brings you.
It's a case of, because technology, and a lot of people in the room here, or almost all the people in the room here, are working with technology. It has, like the fan footage speaker was speaking about earlier on, it's almost like technology has brought it back to ground zero, pre-vinyl. So now it's all about live. And now, pretty much, if you record something, it's not that it's worthless, but people they'll get it. They'll get it so you can put it out. That's brilliant. Like, I believe in that, genuinely, in my heart, believe that it's great that the music's getting out there and people are sharing it. But that creates difficulties for bands, because how do you take account of that, I suppose, in a business sense? And it's a case of, like, when people come to see us live, they don't walk away saying, do you know what I mean? Because live has become so much more important now. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because if people see you person to person, not through a screen, not through whatever, I'm saying, like, with fan footage, it's a great example, because they're seeing you through hundreds of screens. Do you know what I mean? Which is a great idea, But it's an immediacy. It's an immediacy, which it's all about.
You see, you're right.
Yeah.
We had the known world, going back in the Renaissance days, and we knew how far it went. And then Christopher Columbus and a few other guys went out there. Yeah. Do you not think they were scared shitless?
Oh, they were scared, yeah.
But what they did is they leveled the playing field again.
Yeah.
So now, you can actually be on the same playing terms as the big guys.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to get the wrong impression. Like, we're enjoying the ride.
I'm
Like,
not getting the wrong impression.
You know what I mean? We're surfing it. We're liking it. I'm just saying that at the moment, especially with labels and the format of how the industry works and has worked for years, it's changing so rapidly that we need to adjust and take advantage of
You've
it.
just been around too long, and that's your problem.
5 years.
No, listen, that's absolutely brilliant, because I think you said you need to actually hear you and experience you to understand how good you are. So that's what we're about to do.
Great.
So a big hand to...
Thank you.